It has been well over a year since I've done any BirdNerd diary videos. I'm happy to say that I'm back doing them again now. In order to keep down on over-information and video time, I made the videos focus more on the jays, but I do brief on the little ones as well. I hope you enjoy. In a small section of these northern woods lives a flock of adult blue jays I've known for years. Finally, after a long winter, they are getting ready for the spring thaw, so the courting and nesting can begin. Each jay has its own unique personality. The passive but cautious and quite handsome Hermoso, a male blue jay at least 9 years old. Feisty jay, a big, fighty, emotional male, age 5. Blue, wise, tough, bright blue male at least 9 years old. Beau, a young male only 2 years old, who for some reason reminds me of an old soul. Something about those eyes. Then there is Squawky, a male at around 6 years old who seems to disappear for days, weeks, and sometimes months, and then just reappears as if he had never been gone.
Squawky.
New young males take to the scene too. Like this 1-year-old who is very nervous of me, making it hard for me to get much recorded of him. Mr. seems like the perfect name for him. Of course, these strapping males have mates too. Fiona, a shy, quite observant young female Hermoso met in spring 2019. Then we have a lovely sweet girl, at least 9 years old. Smart as a whip, beautiful vivid purple blues and bold black markings. Blue is her mate. Snowy, 6-year-old female with lots of white on her face and neck, very smart, careful but trusting too.
Hey, Snowy.
Her first mate Webster passed in summer 2019. That's when Beau stepped in and became her new buddy. Nova, a small female with distinct white eyelores or brows. Only 2 years old but a quick learner and mate to Feisty Jay. Squawky's mate looks a bit like Nova. I don't have a name for her. Just as with Squawky, she disappears for long stretches of time and then reappears. And finally, there is a new, young, very tiny female I've named Mrs., who was born summer 2019. All winter I've seen this little cautious yet curious young jay. I often wonder how she'll make it through such a harsh season, but something tells me she's going to be around for a while. Who will her mate be? With such characters, it can be rather interesting and fun. Although this land has plenty of snow left in May, as the sun stays up for longer and gains more strength, it won't be long before it's gone. The smart jays are quite aware of that and waste no time. After all winter putting up with each other, they break apart into their own little territories where they will begin nesting. Hermoso and Fiona seem to enjoy hanging out just a bit down from where Blue and Sweet Girl are already nesting. Blue isn't particularly happy with this and makes sure to let him know by stealing each perch Hermoso takes. Hermoso may have a gentler way about him than the other male jays, but when it comes to his mate, he will defend her in his own sweet-tempered manner. Eventually, the roles change, and Hermoso starts taking Blue's perch, and to let him know the boundary, he seemed to fly in a circle around him and Fiona. Interestingly, Blue seemed to respect this, and even though he could easily dominate and win a fight with Hermoso, he chooses not to. Perhaps already having a mate of his own who is nesting at the moment gives him no interest in other pairs or females. With Blue doing his own thing, Hermoso can focus on giving his mate as much food offerings as possible. Even though he's extremely generous, Fiona can't seem to resist stealing from him after watching Hermoso hide away a bit of food for himself. He just stands by watching, doesn't even bother intervening. Hermoso's one of those kind, laid-back souls. Feisty Jay and Nova, too, have already started nesting, just a day shy of Blue and Sweet Girl. By around the 12th of May, Hermoso and Fiona and Snowy and Bo are nesting as well. The little young female, Mrs., it seems, has paired up with Mr., the young male. His gentle nature toward his first mate is heartwarming. I think she's in good wings. In the area around the jays, there is a lot of activity from the chickadees and nuthatches too. Like this handsome fellow, Hatch, a red-breasted nuthatch who is roughly 7 years old. He's preparing a nest hole for his mate Maggie, just up the hill from where Blue and Sweetgirl are nesting. The lovely "Hey Sweetie" call of black-capped chickadees can be heard many times throughout the day. A beautiful promise of more life to come, like the tiny ruby-crowned kinglet flitting about the limbs of alders. And my beautiful white-throated sparrow buddies coming around for a snack. Even old chipmunk friends make an appearance after a long winter slumber. The occasional butterfly is seen too. May might see more mild, sunnier days, but that doesn't mean the snow is over. How miserable they all seem to look. I think it makes them less tolerant of each other's company, too. Feisty J just couldn't leave Blue alone. Hard to imagine how the female jays are doing it, sitting in a nest all day with the snow falling down. Filming them on the nest isn't my highest priority. Instead, I prefer to limit my visits, only staying a couple of minutes when I do drop by and keep my distance. Mr., the young jay I mentioned earlier, comes by once in a while too, and is alone, so I guess that means little Mrs. is on the nest somewhere. Feisty J isn't too fond of this little whippersnapper though, but I like him. I came to visit Blue and Sweetgirl, and they weren't there. They're 2 weeks into nesting. I haven't been out for a couple days. After a half of a kilometer trek further into the woods, I found them. It seems their nest failed sometime after the last time I was out a couple days ago. With no evidence left behind, it's hard to know what happened. I'm just glad to see the two of them scoping out a new spot and trying again. Which means more courtship feeding and nest material gathering. Blue sure isn't good at getting nest material. Sweetgirl always seems to outdo him with ease. He's a good boy, though. Two of them are such sweethearts. All of Sweetgirl's hard work earned her a little drink. Very early in the morning, as I made my way up, the screeching of jays could be heard. A crow had found Nova's nest. Just as with Blue and Sweetgirl, Feisty J and Nova will have to start over again too. The food offerings began immediately. Hermoso and Fiona started out as one of the last ones to begin nesting, but now they are in the lead by about a week. Snowy and Bo seem to be close in timing to Hermoso and Fiona too. In just a day shy of a week, Blue and Sweetgirl have finished their nest and are back in the game. After a few days of more courtship feeding from Feisty J to Nova, these two are back in the game too. But I haven't discovered where they are nesting, and I don't plan to. Not purposely, anyway. Failed nests happen every spring. That is why many birds nest several times during the breeding season, upping their chances of having a successful brood. This is the first time Blue and Sweetgirl had a failed nest since 2016. They rebounded then, and they should from this one as well. Feisty J and Nova, too. With Blue and Feisty J free to come and go again, they are bound to cross each other's paths. The squeaky gate calls are used a lot during these days. Feisty J and Blue have a similar toughness. Feisty J may be a little extra flighty though. Be that as it may, Blue couldn't resist stealing a peanut that Feisty J hid away. I guess that's what Feisty J gets for stealing Blue's peanut a couple of weeks ago. It's certainly not over until Feisty J says, though. Conflicts between these two are usually intense. Blue dive-bombing him on the branch below is a first, though. Hermoso prefers to steer clear from getting physical, but that doesn't mean he don't want to defend his turf, especially when it's Feisty J that's intruding. Hermoso is smart and knows that he doesn't have the same kind of aggressiveness, plus Feisty J is younger, so he instead demands for respect in his own adorable way, producing the squeaky gate call with the bobbing up and down gesture. His sounds kinda different than the others. Whatever gets the message across without an all-out fight sounds good to me. With everyone settled in and the days getting brighter and longer, the thought of new small eyes soon to be opening to this world fills me with excitement and wonder. Until then, what new struggles will the Jays face, or will it be easy peasy from here on out? Follow more of their journey in the next video. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Happy birding!